important to correctly identify and measure roof drainage areas in order for the BMP designer to correctly size and place BMPs for your house. Let's start by finding your drip lines. A drip line is an area where water leaves the roof. For this roof, water flows here, here, and here. Now we know where the water flows, and the next step is to determine how much water goes to each of these drainage areas. We will label these drainage areas 1, 2, and 3. Let's start by measuring the length of drainage area 1. Next, let's measure the width of drainage area 1. We can estimate the width of the drainage area by locating the roof peak. We can see the water flows to both the front and the back of the house. By measuring the width from the peak, we can estimate how much water is coming off of the roof. Now let's measure drainage area 2. The width will be the same as drainage area 1. Now let's measure drainage area 3, the garage. This roof is almost flat, but you can see that it flows this direction. This measurement will be the width. Now we will measure from the front to the back of the garage because this is where the water drains off of the roof. This is the length of the drip line. Now let's look at the front of the house. How many drainage areas do you think exist on this roof? This roof has 2 additional drainage areas, 4 and 5, one for the guttered area and one for the drip line. We don't need to measure the dormer area separately because they flow to the same drainage area as the roof below it. We have already measured the garage drainage area, so we don't need to worry about that now. Here is the entire roof from a bird's eye view, divided into 5 drainage areas. When measuring the drainage areas without gutters, it is important that the length measurement corresponds to where the water is falling off the roof in order for the BMP designer to correctly size and place the BMP. The slope of the driveway will determine what kind of BMP will be recommended. Driveways with slopes greater than 5% must install a slotted channel drain. One way to measure the slope of the driveway is to use a digital level. A digital level tells you the exact percent of slope. Be sure to place the level perpendicular to the slope. Another way to measure slope is by measuring the distance between the high and the low place of the driveway, where the conveyance will be installed. It is important that the tape measure is level. This distance is called the run. Then measure the difference in height between these 2 spots. This is the rise. Percent slope is measured by dividing the rise by the run and multiplying by 100. In order to ensure proper placement of driveway BMPs by the BMP designer, it is important to know where the water from your driveway goes. The easiest way to figure this out is to run a hose on the driveway. This way you can determine if the water flows to the street or back onto your property. If the water flows to the street, as it does here, a swale or slotted channel drain will be needed to capture and convey the water to the side of the driveway where the water can be infiltrated. In this case, the driveway has a slope of greater than 5%. So a slotted channel drain will need to be installed. Next, you will want to measure the length and width of the driveway. Be sure to estimate your property boundary and be aware of the right-of-way. Some driveways have more than one drainage area. In this driveway, part of the water drains towards the street and the other portion drains back to the property. It is important to figure out the area of the driveway that is contributing water to each drainage area. A BMP will need to be designed for each of these drainage areas.